I still feel you in the silence, in the spaces in between, like a whisper never spoken, like a place I've never seen. Every night the world goes quieter, but my heart stays wide awake, holding on to something gentle that time could never take. We were never loud together, never shining like the sun, just a quiet kind of magic, only felt, not ever shown. Endless quiet love, living softly in my chest, even though you're gone. It refuses now to rest. Endless quiet love, like a dream that lingers on, not enough to hold, but too deep to be gone. I don't chase the past anymore, I just let it come and go, like the tide that keeps returning to a shore it doesn't know. There's a peace inside the breaking, there's a warmth inside the pain. Every memory is fading, but the feeling still remains. We were never meant forever, but we stay longer than time, in the gentle kind of forever that exists inside the mind. Endless quiet love, living softly in my chest, even though you're gone. It refuses now to rest. Endless quiet love, like a dream that lingers on, not enough to hold, but too deep to be gone. And if I never see you again, I'll still carry what we were, not in tears, not in regret, but in something softer. Endless quiet love doesn't need to be complete. It's the kind of broken beauty that still feels like peace. I don't say your name out loud now, but it lives inside my mind, like a shadow in the daylight, always there but hard to find. There are moments I feel nothing, like the world just passes through, but in quiet I still feel it, every part that leads to you. You were never loud or perfect, just a calm I used to know, like a place my heart could rest in before I had to let you go. Softly still here, in the silence of my days, in the way I close my eyes, in the dreams that slowly fade. Softly still here, like a breath I cannot see, not a pain I try to fight, just a part that stays with me. I don't reach for what is over, I don't hold on like before, but your memory moves within me like a tide along the shore. There's a gentle kind of sadness that no time can take away, not a wound that needs a reason, just a feeling that will every quiet moment that never fades away. There's a space you left behind me, no one else can ever fill. Not a wound that keeps on breaking, just a quiet aching still. I don't fight it like I used to, I don't ask what could have been. I just sit with all the echoes, let them fade beneath my skin. Every word we never finished, every look we couldn't keep, now they drift like distant memories somewhere deep inside of me. Echoes in silence, calling from far away, not loud enough to follow, but too real to fade away. Echoes in silence, living under my skin. I don't try to escape them, I just learn to breathe within. I remember how it felt, not the pain but something warm, like a quiet kind of shelter in the middle of a storm. Now the storm has slowly passed me, but the sky is never clear. There's a softness in the distance, like your presence still is here. We were never meant to last, but we were never just a phase. You became a quiet meaning that still lingers through my days. Echoes in silence, calling from far away, not loud enough to follow, but too real to fade away. Echoes in silence, living under my skin. I don't try to escape them, I just learn to breathe within. And maybe time will take your shadow somewhere I don't need to see, but until that moment finds me, you'll be part of how I breathe. Echoes in silence, not a loss I have to hide, just a gentle fading presence that still lives somewhere inside. There's a place inside my memory where your voice still feels like home. Not a sound that I can follow, just a warmth I've always known. I don't visit it too often, never disappears. It's a quiet kind of presence that survives beyond the years. Every time I almost forget you, something pulls me back again. Not to break what I've been healing, just to feel what once had been. Where feelings rest, there's no right or wrong, only moments that stay even after they're gone. Where feelings rest, I don't try to change what we were, still exist, just in a different way. I don't need to hold your shadow, I don't need to understand why some hearts stay connected, even slipping through your hands. There's a softness in acceptance, there's a peace I couldn't see when I thought that love was something that could only stay with me. Now I walk a little lighter, even with you in my past. Not everything is meant to vanish, some things simply don't last. Where feelings rest, there's no right or wrong, only moments that stay even after they're gone. Where feelings rest, I don't try to change what we were, still exist, just in a different way. And maybe love is not forever, maybe it just comes and goes, but it leaves a quiet meaning only the heart really knows. When feelings rest, I don't feel alone. Even losing you still feels like I've grown. I can feel the weight is lighter, even if it's still not gone. Like a quiet understanding that somehow keeps me strong. I don't need the same answers, I don't ask what we became. There's a softness in the distance, there's no anger, there's no blame. Every step is slow forgiveness, every breath a gentle release. I was holding on to nothing, now I'm falling into peace. Falling into peace, like the night without a fear. Not because you're coming back, but because I'm still here. Falling into peace with the pieces of my heart, not the way it was before, but a softer kind of start. I still see you in the small things, in the silence of a song, but it doesn't break me open, it just tells me I was strong. There was beauty in the breaking, there was truth in letting go. Even love that couldn't stay still has something it can show. Now I don't resist the ending, I don't try to hold it tight. Some things fade into a feeling that just quietly feels right. Falling into peace, like the night without a fear. Not because you're coming back, but because I'm still here. Falling gentle meaning. I can finally understand. Falling into peace, not a loss I need to fight. Just a quiet kind of healing that feels like coming back to life. The room feels different now, even silence changed its shape. Not a space that holds your shadow, just a calm I couldn't make. Every object stays the same, but the meaning slowly shifts. What once carried all your presence now just quietly exists. I don't reach for what is missing, I don't chase what slipped away. There's a stillness growing deeper with every passing day. Stillness after us, not a void, not a pain, just a quiet kind of ending with nothing left to explain. Stillness after us, like the air before the dawn. Not the absence of a feeling, just the sense that it is gone. I remember how you sounded, but it fades without a fight. Like a distant fading echo, losing shape into the night. There's no need to hold the story, there's no need to understand. Somewhere in the space between us, I let go of your hand. What we had is not forgotten, it just softened into time. Not a loss I carry heavily, just a line I left behind. Stillness after us, not a void, not a pain, just a quiet kind of ending with nothing left to explain. Stillness after us, like the air before the dawn. Not the absence of a feeling, just the sense that it is gone. And in this gentle kind of silence, I don't feel the need to hide. There's a peace I never noticed, now it's living deep inside. Stillness after us is where I finally see. Letting go was never losing, it was giving back to me. I don't hold the way you left me, like a weight I have to keep. It became a quiet moment that my heart can finally meet. Every word we didn't finish doesn't echo like before. They just rest in softer places, I don't reach for them anymore. There was something in your leaving that I didn't understand. Now it feels like something gentle loosely slipping from my hands. Gentle goodbye remains, not a tear I need to hide, just a feeling slowly fading, like the turning of the tide. Gentle goodbye remains in the corners of my days, not enough to pull me under, just enough to softly stay. I can see us in the distance, like a scene I used to know. Not a story I belong to, just a place I sometimes go. There's a quiet kind of closure that no words could ever bring. It's the way my heart stopped asking for what time could never give. Now I walk without your shadow, but I don't feel incomplete. There's a softness in the ending that somehow feels like release. Gentle goodbye remains, not a tear I need to hide, just a feeling slowly fading, like the turning of the tide. Gentle goodbye remains in the corners of my days, not enough to pull me under, just enough to softly stay. Maybe love was never lost, it just changed its. I don't feel the way I used to. Something in me let it go. Not a break, not even healing, just a shift I didn't know. Every thought is moving slower, like it's floating out of reach. There's a quiet in my body that no words could ever teach. I don't hold on to the memories, I don't push them far away. They just pass me like a river that no longer makes me stay. Drifting without weight, like I'm carried by the air. Not a place I need to land, just existing everywhere. Drifting without weight, nothing pulling me below. All the things I used to feel now just come and gently go. I remember how it mattered, how it filled my everyday. Now it feels like distant weather that has slowly moved away. There's no sadness left to follow, there's no question left to ask. Only quiet observation of a feeling from the past. What we were has turned to distance, not in space but deep inside. Like a story I once lived in, now just passing by my mind. Drifting without weight, like I'm carried by the air. Not a place I need to land, just existing Drifting without weight is the way I've come to know. Peace is not in holding on, it's in learning to let go. We were something close to lasting, something near a steady flame. Not a promise, not a forever, but we almost felt the same. There were nights that felt unending, like the world had slowed for us. In the quiet way you held me, there was more than just enough. I don't call it lost or broken, I don't say it slipped away. It just lived inside a moment that was never meant to stay. Almost like forever, but it faded in its time. Not a love that disappeared, just a space it couldn't climb. Almost like forever, in the way it used to feel. Not enough to keep it whole, but too deep to not be real. I can still recall the feeling, more than words could ever show. Like a calm I didn't question, like a place I didn't know. Now it rests inside the distance, not as close as it once was, but it left a kind of meaning that still quietly lives on. There's no need to hold the ending, there's no need to understand. Some connections aren't for keeping, they just pass through who we are. Almost like forever, but it faded in its time. Not a love that disappeared, just a space it couldn't climb. Almost like forever, in the way it used to feel. Not enough to keep it whole, but too deep to not be. But it never fades away. Almost like forever is the way I let it be. Not a dream I'm chasing now, just a truth that shaped me. You don't visit like you used to, you don't stay inside my days, but there's something still between us, in a quiet, distant way. I don't feel the same attachment, I don't reach for what we were, but your name still feels familiar, like a word I've always heard. Time has moved us into silence, where the past no longer calls, but it left a gentle imprint, like a shadow on the wall. A place in me that I don't try to erase. Not a memory I'm holding, just a calm, familiar space. A place in me where your presence used to be. Now it's something softer, quieter, just a part of how I breathe. question how it ended. I don't search for what went wrong. There's a peace in not knowing why some moments don't belong. Every feeling found its distance, every echo lost its sound, but the meaning never vanished, it just settled deep and down. We were never meant to stay here, we were only passing through, but you left a kind of stillness that feels honest and true. A place in me that I don't try to erase, not a memory I'm holding, just a calm, familiar space. A place in me where your presence used to be. Now it's something softer, quieter, just a part of how I breathe. And I've learned to live beside it, not to change it or deny. Some connections don't disappear, they just soften over time. A place in me is all that's left of you, not a loss, not a forever, just a quiet, lasting truth.